Hey, it's Random Code, and today I want to start a new series kind of showcasing a project I've been working on for quite a while, and I intend to continue for the next few months. So I hope to be continue doing some video updates showcasing the journey. But for now, I just want to introduce this project I've been working on, and would love any feedback, inputs, whatever. I just very much want to showcase what I have now and kind of discuss a bit where I'm going. But in short, the general idea is called cleverdash, and it is at cleverdash.ai. And in short, it is a tool, software as a service, or a SaaS solution, where people can upload data and it's then turn into meaningful dashboard within seconds, automatically, or with a human AI collaborative journey. So this is my base introduction website, and it's actually online, so you can actually check it out yourself. Right now, you can't create users, so it's not completely public online yet, but there is actually a page at cleverdash.ai. But for now, just using the secret admin user, I will showcase the functionality. As again mentioned, you can't sign up right now. It's not ready yet. But just to showcase the general idea is that you would get into a data source area where you can then upload files to then generate dashboards. So for example, just to showcase here, I have a Walmart sales file from Kaggle, so just an online public CSV data file. I will then open it. In this current version, this is actually an older version than what I have, but in this version, there is this basic human AI collapse aspect where we can input our own domain knowledge to further improve the dashboard generation, or we could submit it just automatically to get an automatic generated dashboard. But just quickly, the idea is then to allow anyone that's not a data analysis or expert or a data scientist to still be able to create and extract meaningful information insight from any kind of data. But let's, for example, say we have this Walmart data. The stores might be important. The date is going to be some kind of time definition. Weekly sales important. Holiday flag might be important. Temperature, fuel price. But let's say we don't care about the CPI or the unemployment. We can also go deeper into different cleaning strategies. This is a bit technical actually, and I need to simplify this. But it could be fully customized how we actually clean the data, and we can then submit it. This then uploads the file, and we can then view the dashboard. And if we then wait a few seconds, we then have a dashboard generated. And again, the main idea is that you can upload any file, any data set, and then simply generate meaningful dashboards. For example, here, as we just saw, first of all, we have some KPIs, key performing indexes. So for example, here it shows, my process shows that weekly sales will be the most important attribute. So we get some totals, some averages, we get the row count. So we know this data set had 6,435 inputs and a max weekly sales as well. We can then see distribution of the temperature, for example. We can see distribution of the store IDs might actually not be as important as I first thought maybe. Fuel price might be more important, weekly sales, and some time series, seeing okay, the weekly sales on a monthly basis. Do we have some crazy outliers? Maybe not, but we can see in 5th month, 4th month, 12th month, 11th month, 6th month. Maybe there are some patterns on the peaks, but for now it's very much just still somewhat basic and just providing a general overview, and we see some data sample here. The idea is then to have these multiple kind of avenues to interact with this. Thinking back at this first pop-up, this is too basic and it's going to be improved in future versions, but for now I think the idea still of being able to directly input our human domain understanding of data is kind of interesting. But if we already have generated a dashboard, we can also edit it, which for now is a bit basic, but we can change the column names. We could, let's say we actually didn't want the store at all to be here. We could change it into something else. For now, again, it's only the other options we have that were not ignored, so it might not make too much sense. And we can then also change, for now, the bar charts to donut charts, or pie charts, as you might say. So not too much editing, but more editing is coming in the future versions. Some of the inputs I've gotten, it might be worth mentioning that this is built in collaboration with my last master project here at university, so I'm just about to be finished. But I built a MVP as we see here. I then did some user testing to get some inputs, and I'm then going to be going through like a second iteration to finish up my my masters. But some of the inputs, just to go over the ideas, is for example that looking at these bar charts, these intervals are now kind of chosen by my system, but it might be interesting to actually be able to choose these intervals ourselves. For example, for the fuel price, these interval gaps might be too wide. We might want to make it a bit more narrow. We also might more bar or more chart types. And also a very interesting idea, I'm kind of working with this idea of being able to almost prompt it to some extent. Again, this idea of it being human AI collaborative, but prompting it to what would we actually want to see and what do we want the dashboard to be more specific about. And there's also, it's pretty basic right now, but there's this idea of insights of these. Right now, it's very much just like highlighting, okay, this bar is the largest, or and putting the different bars into some kind of like how much they appear. So not super interesting. But more interesting, we can, for example, see here that the categories are evenly distributed within a 5% margin. So all the stores are, at least with this bar separation, evenly distributed, kind of interesting. It would also highlight if there were any kind of correlations between some of the charts or some of the columns in the data. And we see the trend line. Again, it's very flat. So there's a decrease of a 0.5%, so very flat. But that is very much the general idea of cleverdash, the data to dashboard solution built on human AI collaboration. And again, this is the first version, but now just playing around with the topic and hoping at some point to actually get this up and running as a full-fledged service, where I very much hope I could get a lot of input also, especially doing these continuous YouTube updates of where I'm at, what I'm doing, to get some feedback and some kind of like inputs that way. Also, I will leave a link in the description. I'm just barely created a LinkedIn page for this profile right now with basically 0 followers, so I'm also going to link that and hopefully get that kind of up and running and maybe build some at least interest before going live with this, if it ends up going live as a product. But we'll see. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this overview and showcase of a project I'm working on. And please feel free to ask any questions about, well, anything in the comment, and it would be very interesting to see and get a lot of different perspective and inputs on what I'm doing. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this showcase of my current interesting project I'm working on. And if you do, please leave a like and subscribe, and I wish you all a wonderful day.